Welcome to Toffee TV. Here's the instant match reaction. Aston Villa 0, Everton 0. A disappointing result at Villa Park. Everton really needed to get 3 points tonight and only come away with a point. And I would say they had the chances. I think Everton had the chances. Certainly a couple in the second half. Certainly Dominic Calvert-Lewin had a header that the goalkeeper saved. Gomez had a really good opportunity and spooned it over the bar. And a few other half chances that we didn't take. And ultimately, it's a night of not quite what ifs, but yeah. I think if it's more like this is what it feels like the whole season in a way. These kind of games, this illustrates the whole season of what if we just had been a little bit or had a little bit more than we did have. And you know, I think it's frustrating because, and also some of the subs as well. The subs are frustrating as well. Not putting another striker on the pitch in the last maybe 5-6 minutes when the game was there to win. You know, they brought Jack Grealish on and that gave them a little bit of life in the second half. But I never really felt that. You know, they had one effort in the first half, Mings with a header, and I'll talk more about Mings in a moment. A header that he put wide and probably should have scored from, but he didn't really have too many opportunities. Jordan Pickford again hasn't had to make any saves, I don't think. And we were just too cautious. But I was sitting here during the game, we were watching doing the watch along, but it's that cautiousness away that's won us the points away from home. So it is like it is that conundrum. And now we face, obviously, 3 games, 2 at home that we must win. They are absolute must-wins. And then we'll need something on the last day against Manchester City, I imagine, if we want any chance of getting into Europe. We're on the same points as Tottenham now after playing the same amount of games. They've got a much better goal difference. So that leaves them basically 1 point better off than we are because of the goal difference. We're back into 8th place. Obviously, we've gone above Arsenal. I'm not really arsed. But we have to win now, the 2 home games. We have to. There's nothing else we can do. That's the only thing we can do. So it's on us. Hopefully we'll have James Rodriguez back. Hopefully we'll have Mina back. The Core's got 90 minutes under his belt tonight. Well, let's just talk about that decision, by the way, on Tyrone Mings. Tyrone Mings comes onto Dom with 5 minutes to go, puts his boot studs into Dom's just below his knee. It went to VAR. How is it not a red card? Now, listen, would have had an effect on the game? Yes, because it would have meant we would have played the last 8 minutes or so with them only having 10 players and we would have had a chance to go for it. But we didn't. Now, listen, you can say I'm looking for, whatever. But it doesn't matter whether you play well or you don't play well. Decisions have got to go your way. And that was a nailed-on red card. The referee should have sent him off. Never mind VAR. The referee should have sent him off. And he hasn't. I'm just bewildered. I sat there the last 5 minutes bewildered. And Mings has ended up cutting out a cross that was going to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And that's the difference. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But, were we too negative? Should he brought on Josh King in the last 5-10 minutes to go and have a real go? Probably yes. So the manager will be thinking, I imagine, if we get a point, it keeps us in contention. But we really have to now get 7 points minimum out the last 3 games. And that still mightn't be enough. If Spurs go and win all 3 games, or even if Spurs get 7 points out the last 3 games, they'll finish in the European places and we don't. So you can't put it all on today. I understand that. If we'd won a game here or we'd won a game there, or even if we'd beaten Spurs like we should have done, or beaten Palace like we should have done. Certainly we should have beaten Spurs. If we'd beaten Spurs and had an extra 2 points and they'd have, 1 less point, then you'd like to think we'd be above them now. So really we should have beaten Spurs, but we didn't. But even if the manager wanted to keep things the same, maybe he should have pulled Richarlison off with 10 minutes to go and brought Josh King on just to freshen it up, give us a little bit something else. They took Traore off, brought Grealish on, and that basically meant they had no centre forward, really. He brought a young kid on up front, didn't do anything for them. They were relying on set pieces, similar to us in a way. But it just wasn't to be our night. And as I said earlier, that's the kind of game that if you score in the first 20 minutes, like we did on Sunday, the game looks completely different because you're fighting and you're holding on to something. But as the game goes on and it's getting edgier and edgier and you need that goal, I don't think that ever helps Everton. I think Everton have to score early in all these games to try and get something out of it. So really disappointing. As I said, I think we had enough chances. Dom's header in the second half. Gomez does brilliantly. Goes up to shape on his right, shifts to his left, and all you open he does is just bend it into the corner, and somehow he just scoops it over the bar. Allen's had one. Okay, it's a half chance from the last throw in, wasn't it? But I imagine we're just not good enough, and that's the truth of it, isn't it? We're just not good enough. That's who we are as a football team. We're just not good enough. You know, you're bringing on players like Iwobi and Gomez to change games of football, then I think that basically tells you you're not good enough. You know, as I said, he's got the likes of King, he's got the likes of Bernard on the bench as well, who could maybe do something. But the manager is looking to keep it tight, he's looking to keep a clean sheet, and he's looking to build off that. What I do know is in the next 2 games, we're going to have to be a lot more adventurous if we're going to win those games. Because obviously now we're coming to 2 home games and we all know what our home record's like. We've only won 2 in a row. Well, the last time we won 2 in a row, sorry, was in December. The Chelsea and Arsenal games. So we're going to have to be a hell of a lot better than we were today. Certainly in front of goal. I think that's probably the most frustrating thing. Is that in other games we have took our chances in those kind of games. We've seen it on Sunday. We only really had one big chance. And we took it. And that's the problem. We don't make enough chances. So, but we're just, listen, we're just not good enough. If we get pipped to Europe on goal difference by a team that have got Kane and Son, then so be it. What can you say? So be it, I suppose. But we're going to need snookers now, aren't we? We're going to need Villa to do something against Spurs, get a point off them. Maybe, and then Leicester, last day of the season. That's what's good thing is, Leicester versus Spurs should probably be a big game. There'll be something on that game. Leicester know they've got to win. So that's good from our point of view, but then we play Manchester City. It's how we approach Manchester City. If we've got something, we could throw everything at them, and maybe they'll be a little bit reluctant with the Champions League final the week after. We'll wait and see. Listen, on the surface of it, going to Villa and defending like that and really limiting to very little, that's fine. I've got no problem with that. Good defensive display, no mistakes, but it's at the other end of the pitch. And it is about being a little bit braver, and we weren't brave today. But as I said, I don't know what the manager thinks. The manager might think a point today is better than obviously losing, because a point today keeps us in there. That's sort of how the manager's worked all season. Just keep going and hope. Because all season, every time you think Everton are out of it, Tottenham lose or Liverpool don't get a result or whatever. So maybe he thinks we've still got 3 games left. Same as Tottenham now. Because let's be honest, Tottenham are our main rival now. We have to get more points than them if we're going to finish in Europe. That's the top and bottom of it. Our fixtures are quite samey, if you think about it. 2 games we should think we should win, and 1 away game that is difficult. So we'll see what happens. There you go. I'm going to leave you on that. We're going to go and do our other videos. Baz will be doing his videos in a moment, and I'll be doing my player ratings shortly as well. Make sure to give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to watch the final word before everybody else, get over to Patreon. The link is in the description and it'll be on the screen. Thanks for watching. See you later.